Hi and welcome to class today. Today we're going to continue with the bound and we will do bird of paradise where you learn to put your knee on your arm. So we will need 2 blocks and 1 strap. And when you are ready, let's sit down to the floor. You can sit on the 2 blocks and cross your legs. Lift your hands on top of your thighs and close your eyes. We spend the first minutes of the class focusing on our breath. So today, tell yourself when you inhale, get taller, and exhale, feel the power in your belly, tighten your belly, and continue with that. Remember, you don't have to rush or do things in a hurry. Take all the time you need to inhale until you're completely full. Your torso becomes so big and tall. And exhale, squeeze your belly in. Do all these actions with your face calm and relaxed. So it's a lot of movements happening in your belly, in your torso. You are bringing a lot of air through your nose. But don't make your face or your neck or your shoulders work. Let them relax. So inhale, pump a lot of air into your lungs. And exhale, release the air through your nose. Inhale until you completely full and you cannot inhale anymore. Then exhale until you are absolutely empty and you cannot exhale anymore. There's nothing left to exhale. And continue for 2 more breaths. And after 2 breaths, you can slowly open your eyes. Let's remove the block so that you can sit on the floor. And bring them to the side. So bring your knees out and your feet together in the Bandha Konasana pose. And then keep your right foot and right leg here. Bring your left foot down to the floor. So now you are sitting like this with your left knee going up straight. Let's inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, bring your left arm inside left knee and try to go forward a little bit so that your knee is very close to your arm. And then turn your chest up toward the right side as you inhale. And exhale, let's come back. One more time, push your knee to your arm very much. And inhale. And exhale. And then one more time, inhale. Try to push your arm to your knee and your knee to your arm. And exhale, come back. This time, let's bring your arm underneath your knee. And keep the knee on the top of the shoulder. Inhale, bring your arms up. This time turn your top hand back and bring it down to weight at your hip. See if you can bring your left hand underneath your left knee and you can find your hands here. Then you stay here and inhale, turn up. And exhale. So when you inhale, feel how your head grow and your torso, your spine grow longer. And exhale, turn your chest up a little bit more. For one last breath, inhale. And exhale. And slowly get out of this pose. Bring your knees back to the floor into Bandha Konasana. Inhale and exhale, forward bend. Hands on the floor, inhale. And exhale, bring your head down closer to the floor and further in front of your toes. Then we go up, inhale. And then let's bring your right foot down to the floor and right knee coming up. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, bring your right arm inside your right knee. So it should be very high up to your shoulder. And then 3 times, inhale, open yourself. And exhale, bring your hands back. 2 more times, inhale, try to push your arm to your knee and turn yourself more to the side. And one last time. So inhale, stay here for a little bit. And exhale. This time, let's bring your right hand inside the hole between your legs and inhale, left arm up. Turn your top hand back and bring it down to your right hip. Maybe you can hook your hands to each other and then turn your chest up. If you cannot find your hands anywhere, keep reaching them to each other. So 3 breaths here, inhale, longer spine, and exhale, turn your whole chest back and up. Really feel it. Inhale, get longer and bigger in your torso, and exhale, turn more and more to make the twist. For 1 more breath, inhale and exhale. And let's slowly come back and bring your legs back to Bandha Konasana pose. Inhale, exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend deeper. And then inhale, bring your arms over your head. And exhale, bring your hands and your knees down to the floor into table pose. Cow pose, inhale. And exhale, cat pose. 2 more rounds, inhale, cow pose. See if you can remember to external rotate your shoulders and show the biceps in front of you. For 1 last round, inhale and exhale. Let's go to cow pose. When you inhale and stay here, bring your right leg up, inhale. And exhale, bring your knee outside of your right arm. Try to touch. 2 more times, inhale. And exhale, knee to the outside of your right arm. And 1 last time, this time we're going to stay in the mountain climber pose with your knee outside of your right arm and try to bring your knee up as high as you can toward your shoulders. Point your toes, squeeze your heel up and stay here. It's fine if you bend your elbows a little bit. And then let's step your foot outside of your right hand. Right, so lizard pose, let's pick your back knee up and move it away so that you feel a bit stretchy at the hips. Inhale, raise your heart up, and exhale, sink your hip low. Inhale, hips up, and then exhale, hips go low. Then stay here in the lizard pose. Try to sink your hip very low, but try not to put your knee on the floor. Actually, lift your knees up really high. And then let's bring your knee down to the floor. Stay here in lizard pose. You can keep your hands on the floor and feel how your knees is very close to your shoulder. And bring your hip lower and lower. Then let's stick your knees to your shoulder and then pick your back leg up. See if you can get out of this pose exactly the way we get in. So mountain climber first. Keep your knee hugging into your arm and send your leg back. Plank pose. Knees down to the floor. Prepare your blocks with you, bring them right in front of your fingers. We're going to do chaturanga with the supports of the blocks. So blocks as wide as your shoulders and your hands on the floor, as wide as your shoulders too. Move your shoulders forward and put them on the blocks. Squeeze your elbows into you all the time and check your hands, make sure that they are sticking on the floor with no gap between your hands and the floor. Bring one knee up and maybe both knees up, chaturanga. Try to bring your head forward and make your neck really long and bring your shoulders back so you are not crossing your neck, and the knees down to the floor. Now focus, when you inhale, push up slowly, yeah, into table. And let's move the blocks to the side. Lay down to the floor, exhale. Now bring your hands behind you and interlace your fingers. Try to bend your elbows a little bit so that you can touch your palms to each other. So don't do this. Try to touch your palms. You may need to bend your elbows for that. Now let's squeeze your shoulder blades to each other. So very big chest here. Lift your hands up and then lift your legs up. Pull your shoulder back, long neck here. Inhale, make your torso really big. And exhale, squeeze your belly in. One more time, inhale and exhale. And then let's get out of this pose. Hands down to the floor. And find some way to go back to the table pose. Let's inhale cow and exhale cat for several rounds. And check in with your arms. You better turn your biceps and your elbow crease out so that when we go to chaturanga, your elbows will touch the side of your body. Do cat and cow for as long, as slow, as fast as you want, based on your own breath. And after one more round, we're going to do cow pose together. So inhale, cow pose. And then lift your left leg up too, this time in cow, inhale. And exhale, left knee to the outside of your left arm. Point your toes like a ballet dancer when you inhale. And then squeeze your heel toward your buttock and bring your knee outside of your left arm. One more time. And exhale. So we're staying here. You can bend your left elbow so that your arm is holding your leg, but try not to touch your foot to the floor. Lift your foot up as high as you can and then step your foot outside of your hand. Lizard pose. Let's bring your back knee up and move your leg away so that your hip can go lower. Inhale and exhale, hips lower. Inhale, bring your hip up and exhale, lower your hips. Stay here in the lizard pose. Try to have your knee toward your arm. Bring your hip really low and feel the stretch, but try not to touch your knee to the floor. So push your knee up, higher and higher. It's very strong legs here. And take some breath. And then let's bring your back knee down to the floor. And now your back leg can relax a little bit, but you're still pushing your hip down and raise your chest up high. And pay attention to the knee is touching your arm on your left side. Then to get out of this pose into plank, we're going to get out the same way we get in. So you pick your back leg up, make your back leg really strong, raise your hips up high. You can even step your back foot forward a little bit. Push into your arm so much and press your knee to your arm so that you can pick your foot up and send it back into plank pose. From plank, knees down to the floor, and prepare your blocks. So chaturanga for the second time. So if you have to put your knees on the floor in chaturanga, that's absolutely fine. But what is really important in the pose is to hug your arms into your body like this. So don't do chaturanga like this. We're going to activate all the big muscles on your back to be in this pose. So prepare the blocks as wide as your shoulders and put your middle finger behind and pointing to the middle line of the block. Bring your shoulders forward and bring your shoulders down to the block. Squeeze your elbows in all the time and check in with your hands. Make sure that they are sticking to the floor like a sticker. So there's no gap at all, especially between your index finger and your thumbs. You can stay here and you can walk your heels back. So now your hips will be a bit lower than your shoulder and one straight line from your head to your knees. This is half chaturanga. You can stay here or you can tuck your toes and lift your knees up too. So try to make your hips as high as your shoulders and your elbow in chaturanga and squeeze your elbows in all the time. Move your head forward to get longer neck, no stress on your neck, and move your shoulders back. Press your hands down to the floor for one more breath. And then let's bring your knees to the floor. Check your hands one more time. We're going to push out of this pose. So when you inhale, push up. Yes, chaturanga is one of the hardest yoga pose. It's very hard to hold it. And it's the foundation of all arm balancing. So let's sit down on your heels and take a small break here. What I want to tell you is that chaturanga, that arm, squeezing your arms toward your body, squeezing your arms together, that's the foundation of all arm balancing. So so just so you know, that's why we always need to practice external rotation. I mean this action. Okay, so now let's lay down to the floor. Exhale. And then inhale, interlace your finger, this time the other way. Try to touch your hands. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders together. Lift your hands up. You can still get your neck and your face relaxed by looking at something on the floor. Make your neck long, and then legs up too. Inhale, fill up your lungs with air. And exhale, tighten your belly in. One more breath, inhale. And exhale. Then release your hands. Slowly find your way to downward facing dog. Let's stay in down dog. Try to push your hips up high. And imagine you are a mountain. And the hips is the peak of the mountain. So try to bring your hips up even higher, in which your sitting bone should be the highest point. Press your fingertips to the floor so that you will not slip, and walk your heels on and off the floor. Now a challenge, see if you can do external rotation in your shoulders in this down dog. I cannot see it in you. Just imagine you are turning your biceps and your elbow crease out, and feel how your arms getting away from your ears. Then bend your knees a lot, look at your hands and step your feet toward your hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. And we stand up. So inhale, bring your arms over your head. Exhale, Tadasana, the mountain pose. Which is quite funny because down dog actually look more like a mountain. But I guess it's because we are very stable here. Take some small break here before we continue. Now we're going to do a tree pose, but we're going to pick your leg from the floor and put it into a tree pose. So let's do that. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, forward bend. Now let's bend your right knee and pick your right foot up. If you cannot hold the floor, you bend your knees a little bit so that you can hold the floor here. And now let's hug your hands into your right leg and really squeeze your right heel toward your right buttock. Now we're going to hold your right leg with you and slowly stand up. So keep looking down to the floor and the focus point until you can stand up straight. And put your right foot inside your left hip. You don't have to put it so high, it can be low. Doesn't matter at all, but we're in tree pose. And bring your arms over your head. Inhale. And exhale. Find a new focus point to look at. Something in front of you that is not moving. And now see if you can get out of this pose the same way we got into it. So hold your right knee in front of you and slowly forward bend. Start looking at the floor instead of looking forward. And once you forward bend, put your foot down to the floor. Inhale halfway up and exhale forward bend. Let's use one block with you and put it nearby in front of you so you can grab it anytime. Step your right foot back, a long step. Inhale, high lunge pose. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale in warrior two, make your legs wider so that we can do the bound easier. And exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, bend your elbow, put it on the top of your knee, bring your arm over your head. Inhale, warrior two again. Now bring your back arm around your waist and weight at your opposite hip. Reverse warrior. Inhale and exhale. Let's bring your hand down to the floor. If you cannot find the floor, you hold the block and turn your chest up. So it's a half bound side angle pose. Then let's hold the block and put it in front of you. Bring your back leg forward. So see if you can do half moon this way. Half moon pose. You can look at something on the floor. And bring your back leg up higher and higher. You don't have to stay here for long. Let's bend your front knee and step back. So warrior two again. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Step your front foot back, plank pose. And then knees down to the floor. We're going to try half chaturanga without the blocks. So move the block to the side, get out of your way. Bring your shoulders forward and bend your elbows. Squeeze your elbows to the side of your body. Squeeze all the time. You don't have to go low. And then let's lay down to the floor. Exhale. Inhale, cobra pose. Press your feet down and raise your chest up. Exhale, round yourself, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your right leg up. And exhale, bend your right knee, put it outside of your right arm. You can jump your back foot forward a little bit. So we do 2 more times of this mountain climber pose. Inhale and exhale, right knee touching the outside of your right arm. If you are low, try to push your hips up so that it's higher. One last time, inhale and exhale, mountain climber. Step your foot outside of your hand. And then bring your back foot down to the floor, just like a warrior two pose. Bring your legs wider from each other and bend your front knee more, so your front knee is still next to your arm. Bring your right arm underneath and try to put your knee on top of your shoulder. You can put your fingertips on the floor and the other fingertips too. So now you are leaning onto your right side. Bring your right hand up and maybe the other hand up too. Flying lizard pose. Try to make both legs really strong here. Inhale deeply and exhale, slowly get out of this pose. So bring your back foot forward into a sumo squat with your feet as wide as a mat. Bring your belly down as low as your hip and your hip as low as your knee. And bring your arms over your head. Stay here as you inhale and exhale. And slowly stand up. Inhale and exhale, hands in front of your heart. Let's bring your feet to the Tadasana, the mountain pose, and take a small break here. And then we will do tree pose, and we do the same way. So inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, forward bend. You can bend your knees slightly so that you can hold your hands on the floor. Let's bend your left leg so that your left heel will be squeezing toward your left buttock and your left knee is very close to your chest. Let's hug your left leg with you with both hands. Look onto the floor. Look down to the floor and slowly stand up. Once you stand up straight, you can look forward in front of you and put your foot inside your other leg into tree pose. Your hands in front of you and as you inhale. Stay in tree pose for several breaths. Then we're going to bring your leg down, so bring your knee in front of you. Try to bring your knee very close to your chest. Hug your legs, then your standing knee gently. It's easier to go down. And then put your foot on the floor on the same level. Let's bring your block so that you can grab it later. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward bend and step your left foot back. High lunge pose. Inhale, high lunge. And exhale, warrior two. So inhale and exhale, make the warrior two bigger. Reverse warrior. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, bend your elbow, put it on your knee. Extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. And now reverse warrior with your left arm wrapping around your back. Reverse warrior. Exhale. Inhale, let's go back to warrior two. And this time keep your arm right here. Bring your hand into the block. Inside your foot. So extended side angle with a half bound. Turn your chest up to the sky and feel how your knee pushing into your arm. And then let's bring your block higher and put it in front of you so that we can go to a half moon pose with a half bound. You can still looking down to the floor. Bring your left leg up high and turn your chest and your hips to the side of the room. Then bend your front knee and then step back. Inhale, bring your arms out and exhale, hands down to the floor. So step your front foot back into plank pose and then knees down. Let's do half chaturanga here. You can get the block out of your way. Move your shoulder forward, bend your elbows, squeeze your elbows toward the side of your body. And notice that your hands are sticking down to the floor. If you want to, you can try the full chaturanga. And then we will go down to the floor. Exhale. Inhale, cobra pose. Imagine the locust, so the strength coming from your back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here in down dog for a little bit. And push your hips up really high. Be ready to do mountain climber on your left side. You can step your feet a bit closer so that you can put your knee on your arm easier. So inhale, left leg up. And exhale, bend your left knee and really put it on top of your left arm outside. 2 more times, inhale. You have to move your whole body, including your shoulder forward, just like we did in chaturanga. And one last time, inhale. Exhale. Let's stay here for a moment and really push your leg up from the floor. And then step your foot down outside of your hand. Bring your back foot down to the floor, like a warrior two position. Open your legs wide and bring your hip a bit lower. But make sure your legs are very strong here, so you're going to bring your hands up. Bring your left arm underneath your left knee. So now your shoulder will be right under your knee. And bring your body weight to the left side so that you can bring your right hand up and maybe be so strong with your leg that you can bring both hands up. The flying lizard pose here. If you feel it's very hard to, you can bring one hand down to the floor. For one more breath, inhale. And then exhale, let's bring your hands back and step your back foot forward into the sumo squat. So inhale, arch your spine. Now your hip and your knee and your chest is kind of the same height. And then bring your arms over your head. Inhale, think of you moving your hip back. It's like chair pose. And exhale. And we slowly stand up. Inhale. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Mountain pose. And bring your feet back into be parallel to each other. Close your eyes and relax. Now we're going to do the hand to big toe pose, but from the floor again. So we pick your right leg up and then we bring it to the side. Let's do that together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Now stand on your left leg only and pick your right leg up. Hold your right leg with you. Keep looking down to the floor until you can stand up straight. But this time, just open your leg to the side. So you don't have to put your foot in like a tree pose. You can bring your left arm out to keep balance and stay here. So keep your leg really strong that even without your arm, it's already in this shape. Bring your right arm inside your right leg. See if you can hold your big toe. If you can't, just keep holding at your knee here. So as you hold your big toe, try to stand up straight with the standing leg. And if you feel stable, you can think of slowly open your leg out and out. Hand to big toe. The right leg is not important at all. It can be bent. But the left leg should be straight. Okay, and then let's bring your foot down and step your right foot back a long step into Warrior Two. Let's bend your front knee very much so that you will bound your hands easier and keep your hip low. Inhale, bring your arms out, and exhale, bring your right arm around your waist, and exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, Warrior Two, and exhale, bring your front hand down to the floor, and top hand up. Bend your front knee a lot so that it's now touching your shoulder. Turn your top hand back and bring it down to your hip, and bring your hand on the floor into a bound. If you cannot find your hands, you can use a strap. With your top hand, bring it back, and use your bottom hand under your legs and hold the strap. So where you are here in the bound, let's turn your chest up when you inhale and exhale. Now let's slowly get out of this pose and step a bit closer. So we're going to do bounded triangle. Bring your arms out and still bend your front knee. And exhale, hand down to the floor. We bound our body first. And see if you can straighten your front knee into bounded triangle pose and turn your chest up to the sky. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And then slowly get out of this pose. So bring your hands down to the floor and step your front foot back into plank pose. From plank, let's try chaturanga. Bring your shoulders down. And then inhale, cobra pose or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your left leg up, left leg. And exhale, step your left foot toward your left hand. And bring your back foot down to the floor. So Warrior Two again. Hold the strap with you and we stand up in Warrior Two. This time we're going to do half moon pose with the bound. So you're going to do bound. You can watch me first. And once you're here, look in front of you on the floor. The focus point is on the ground. Step your back foot forward. And move your hip right on the top of your foot. So your hip will be right on the top of your base. And then maybe you can lift your back leg up. You don't have to be so high. And then let's go back. Okay, release your hands and step your back foot forward. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, forward bend. And we slowly stand up. So inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. We're going to stand only on your right leg and pick your left leg up this time. So let's inhale, arms over your head, and exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. exhale, forward bend. Shift your body weight to the right side, bring your left leg up. And then hug your left knee toward your chest, slowly stand up and open your left leg out to the side. Oops, I drop it. You can open your right arm out in order to keep balance. And then see if you can bring your left arm inside your left knee and find your big toe and hold it. And we stay here. So try to stand up straight with your standing leg. The leg that you're holding is not so important. You can see how much you can straighten it for now, but it really don't need to be straightened. So here you are, hand to big toes pose. And then let's find your way to warrior two. Bring your arms out as you inhale and bend your front knee a lot. Exhale, bring your left arm around your back, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, your right hand will be down to the floor inside your right foot. Bend your front knee and turn your chest up. So your top hand would turn back and bring it down behind you on the other hip. Your bottom hand will go between your legs and you can find your hands. If you can't find your hand, you cannot reach, use the strap with your left hand and your right hand will catch the tail of the strap. And once you're here, turn your chest up higher and try to be really strong with your legs, especially your front leg. And then slowly get out of this pose. Let's step your foot closer. So we're going to do bounded triangle pose. And when you already bend your front knee a lot, go to kind of a bounded side angle with your front knee bent. And once you can find the strap you are binding your body here, you can slowly straighten your knee into bounded triangle pose. And again, you don't have to fully straighten your front knee. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And then let's get rid of the strap. You're still holding it with your left hand and stand up. Take a small break. Then we're going to do the bounded half moon pose. So in bounded half moon, your focus point will be on the floor and in front of your toes. So imagine if you would put your fingers there. Now you will not have your fingers because you are holding the other hand in the bound. You will look there so that you will head that direction. And once you are very much forward, your back leg will not have to work at all and it will be lifted up. So let's do that. Bring your arms out, bend your knees, and then do the bound. Tighten yourself here. Turn your chest up and look down toward the floor. Let's move your whole body forward. So you start stepping your back foot forward. And stay here and feel how your back leg is so light. It's only your back toes is on the floor. Then you can move your body and put all your body weight on the front leg only. And your back leg can be lifted off the floor. And then let's bring your feet down to the floor and release the strap. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale. Slowly stand up as you inhale. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. If you feel tight on your legs, give it some nice shaking. And then take a small break in Tadasana. Now we're going to do a challenge. We are going to do hand to big toes with your left arm wrapping around your waist. So you're already in a half bound. Let's inhale, bring your right arm up. And exhale, forward bend. Bend your knees so that you can hook your right fingers to your right big toes. Bend your right knee and start lifting your right leg up. And see if you can stand up straight and bring your right leg to the side into hand to big toes pose. It's a half bound. And we stay here. Try to bring your knee closer and closer toward the side of your body. And then to get out of this pose, you just bring your leg back down to the floor All right. Release your hands and step your left foot back, a long step. Bring your arms out. So now we're going to do Bird of Paradise. Let's inhale and exhale, reverse warrior. You can bring your left arm around your back. And exhale, bring your right hand down to the floor. Prepare to go to the bound. So you can find the strap. I suggest you use it and bring it behind you. And use your right hand and hold the strap. So here, if you feel like you can hold the strap really close, you can hold your hands really tight, then you don't need it. But if it's already quite hard to hold your hands here, then let's use it. Now let's look at your front foot. You're going to step your back foot forward so that your back foot will be on the same level as your front foot. Then you're going to stand only on your left leg, that is the free leg. The leg has just arrived. And see if you can pick your right leg up. Pick it up. Just the same way you pick up your leg before. Look down to the floor until you can stand up straight. Take all the time you need to be here in Bird of Paradise. So you can stay here. If you feel really stable, you can think of straightening your leg like we did in the bounded triangle pose. And when you want to get out of this, let's bring your foot back down to the floor. And see if you can step your left foot back into bounded side angle. So that's a hard one. If you didn't do it, it's fine. Just find your way to go to bounded side angle. Hand down to the floor. And step your foot back into plank pose. Bring your knees down to the floor. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Then inhale, cow pose. Bring your right leg up. Exhale, put your right knee outside of your right shoulder and put your right hand there. And put your right foot down to the floor next to your right hand. Right. We're going to step your back foot forward into a sumo squat again. And this time we're going to bring your arms behind you. So your belly is being pressed very much into your thigh. Bend your knees for that. See if you can bring your arms out to the side as if you want to push your knees up with your arm. And stay here. And then slowly get out of this pose. Inhale, stand up. Arms over your head. And exhale, step your feet closer and hands in front of your heart. Then we will do hand to big toes with your left leg up. Inhale, bring your arms up. And now your right arm will be behind you in a half bound position. Forward bend. You can bend your knees slightly so that you can find your left toe, big toes, and hold your left big toe. Now let's move your body weight toward your right leg and bring your left leg up and stand up. Bring your leg out into a hand to big toe pose. And stay here. So if you want to extend both of your knees, do your right leg straight first. And slowly you can straighten your other leg too. When you want to get out of this pose, bend your knee and slowly bring your foot back down to the floor. Inhale halfway up. And exhale, forward bend. Let's step your right foot back, a long step. And maybe hold the strap with you here, or bring it closer so that we can use it. And bring your arms out. So, Bird of Paradise. Inhale, half bound, reverse warrior. And inhale. So we go to Warrior 2, and we will go to Bird of Paradise. Inhale in Warrior 2, exhale half bound, and reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, side angle pose. So your left hand down to the floor inside your foot. You can hold the strap with your right hand. You bring it behind you and bring it down to your hip. Then your left arm will be from the under and hold the strap. So hold yourself really tight and start looking at the front of your mat. Let's step your back foot forward so that it will be on the same level as your front foot. Once you're here, bring your body weight to the right side and slowly pick your left leg from the floor. Hold the strap really tight, as if your arms are some kind of rope, and you use them to pick your leg up. So once you stand up straight, you can change your focus point to the front and stay here. Try to bring your chest up and try to stand up straight with your standing leg. And slowly straighten your leg for a full bird of paradise, but that is optional. That's only the cherry on the top of the cupcake. When you want to get out, bend your knees and start looking down to the floor and bring your foot down to the floor. See if you can step your right foot back into bounded side angle again, and you can release the strap. If you are not in extended side angle, just find your way to go to plank and then with your knees down to the floor. Inhale, cow pose, and exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Now let's inhale, cow pose, and bring your left leg up. And exhale, cat pose, and bring your left knee to the outside of your left arm and put your foot outside of your left hand. The other foot too into a sumo squat. So we go to the sumo squat with your hips and your belly and your knees kind of on the same level. Bring the blocks outside. So the blocks are like almost behind your heels. And bend your elbows. Point your elbows very much back. You can hold the blocks like I'm holding here. It's less of a wrist extension for the wrist, so it's easier to hold. Now you're going to sit down into your arms and feel how your body weight is going to the back more and more. So maybe your heels can be lifted off the floor, and you can lift your toes off the floor too. And just lean forward to get out of this pose. So let's try again one more time. From sumo squat, bring the blocks wider so you can hold into the blocks and sit down. Raise your heels up, and maybe you can bring your toes up too. And get out of this pose. Whew, how do you feel? And then let's bring the blocks into a kind of a small place to sit. Bring your hands underneath your knees and sit on the block in a squat. Squeeze your hands with your own leg and stay here. And let's release your hands from your legs and sit down to the floor. So bring one block on the floor. You're going to lay on this block and it will be between your shoulder blade. So it will be on your upper back. You can fix it and lay on it. So if it's too hard, you can cover it with a blanket. Bring your arms to the side and touch your feet. Open your knees out in a diamond shape, like Bandha Konasana. Try to relax your shoulders and your arms. Can even bring your arms over your head. Let go of all your arms and your legs. So you have done some chaturanga today and an arm balancing pose. Your arms could be quite tired. We're stretching it a little bit. We are giving your arms some stretch in the front, in the shoulders and in the chest. So tell your arms to relax and just let go. Then slowly bring your hands back to your thighs and hold on the outside of your thighs and help closing your hips. Let's turn to one side and move the blocks away. So you can lay down on the floor, bend your knees and keep your feet on the floor. So now your whole back will be on the ground. Inhale and exhale slowly. Then let's bring your knees toward your chest and hug your knees in. Try to still bring your hips down to the floor. Don't lift them up. Now bring your knees to the right side. You can use your right hand and keep them on the floor, while your left arm will open to the left side. You can hook your leg or your feet on each other so that it's relaxing pose for you. And bring your knees back to the center and change sides. So bring both of them to your left side and turn yourself to the right side. And then slowly find your way to come back to the center. And you can rest in Savasana. Make space with your body by moving your hips away from your shoulders and moving your arms away from your shoulders too. Lift your heels up and bring them away from your hips. Feel your body cooling down and your breath slowing down. Let go of all the control in your body. When you exhale, all the things we did today, like knees to your shoulder and such, they go away from our mind. And you only focus on relaxing in this moment. We have a lot of more time to do yoga poses. So now you don't have to think about them anymore. And just relax. You can continue resting here, but I'm going to get out of Savasana. If you want to get out of this pose with me, move your hands and your feet. And then make bigger movement to get out of the pose. Turn to one side. Curl your body in like a ball. And go to a sitting pose. As you inhale, make yourself taller. Feel the strength that you have built up. And exhale. Squeeze your belly in, activate the core, the belly muscles. And slowly open your eyes. Thank you very much for doing this class. Namaste.